Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, here we go, everybody. A little choppy to start. Welcome to the PWCC Weekly Hockey Auction Ending Watch Party. It is December the 17th. My name is Jeremy Lee. We have a fantastic show ahead. Let's bring out our co-host, Mr. Josh Madigan. Josh, welcome back. As always, good to see you. How are you?
I'm awesome. Ready for look at some sweet cards. A lot of cards in tonight's auction. A lot of great ones.
Lot of cards. 496 or something like that. Lots of cards. Lots of really sweet vintage tonight, actually. That lots of Maurice Richard and John Beliveau and Jacques Plante and Mahovlich and lots of nice cards like that. So we'll be focusing on a lot of those. And let's say hello, Jake Dahl. Welcome to the show. Steven says, Josh, the Bedard Artifacts card puller. You pulled the redemption. And he's got it ready to show. What are you going to do with that thing?
I don't know. Well, we're still in this waiting game where it's presumed who it is. And now, I'm kind of teasing tomorrow our podcast for tomorrow a little bit, but until I get the confirmation, I'm refusing to say the B word in conjunction with this card because I don't want to jinx it.
Well,
but it's presumed.
It's presumed. I think it's 100% confirmed by somebody out there already. But congrats. That's a pretty sweet pull. Shannick, what's going on? Happy holidays to you. Oh, look, is that Troy coming through the Gong Show's podcast account? Good to see you, Troy. Name, what's going on, Name? Good to see you as always. There's a nice card in the auction. I think Name is probably watching. And Hobby Champs is winning 15 auctions so far, prepared to win 1 or 2. Very good. Well, what should we just jump right in and have a look at some of these cards or what? What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Todd McDonald, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend too, my friend. With that, let's bring up the auction. We're going to start off with some 1954 Parkhurst. These are awesome. First of all, listen, these aren't cards that are, like big investment type cards but the Alex Delvecchio had just got a bid as we opened it up. And I just thought, like, what a gorgeous card. He's a Hall of Famer. His rookie card is in 51 Parkhurst. This is a PSA 6. It's a very nice look. Like, look at that. Josh, to me, this is just a wonderful vintage hockey card of a Hall of Famer. I love, look at him. He's about to fall onto the ice. No helmet. You see the whole body shot. You've got 2 likely Toronto Maple Leafs in the background there, kind of, monochromed out. But I just think it's a really nice looking card of Alex Delvecchio. And then I had to bring up the Fred Sasakamoose 54 Parkhurst rookie. This is the Lucky Premium back. It's kind of a variant. It's a PSA 6. And I know amongst First Nations hockey players and collectors, he's a legend in the hobby, as I'm sure Name can attest to. I believe it's spelt wrong here. It says Fred Sasakamoose, but I believe his name is either spelled or pronounced Sasakamoose. And so I just want to point that out as well. Yeah, Name jumps in and says, there we go. Nice, Freddie. Name, can you confirm his last name for us, please? I believe it is Sasakamoose. And this is a very desirable card by a lot of hockey rookie collectors, vintage collectors, and so forth. And then, we've seen this card before. It's a Mount Rushmore card for hockey. It's the 54 Topps Gordie Howe. And this is a really nice copy overall for a 4. If you just kind of look at it, the top corner's got some slight round to it. Bottom right along the blue border, you can see is a little missing some of the blue. That happens. A little bit of a nick here on the border. The biggest weakness, I would say, is this bottom left corner where it's certainly been dinged up a bit. A couple of almost creases or little, I don't know, just something's happened here in the corner. Tough to say exactly what. It's also off center to the left. You can see how close Gordy, the letter G, is to the border. But when you zoom out again, it's just the image is still wonderful overall. And name does confirm it is Sasakamoose. He says it is a very desired card in the indigenous community. No doubt about it. And Jake Dahl says on that Delvecchio Parkhurst card, the crazy thing that was Borje Salming's number before he got it. Oh, maybe the 21 right there he's talking about. So, Josh, some really nice vintage to kick things off. Any comments or questions on those three before we go to the next?
No, I just am constantly, sometimes like I get in this mode of, you probably shouldn't do this, but comparing modern to vintage. And I think of how many, like looking at that Delvecchio PSA 6, how beautiful of a card that is, and how many rookies of the week you can pick up cards for more than that right now. That like a Lucas Reichel, hopefully he comes around, but he can't score a goal to save his life this year. And his cards go for more than this. And how on one hand criminal, but on the other hand, what an opportunity for people tonight to pick up something that, you're right, might not ever be worth $10,000, but it's something that you could treasure. You could get a sense of the history of the game and learn about one of the, through cards, one of the legendary players of the game.
And I also want to note that the Sasakamoose, as PWCC indicates, it's pop 9 in a PSA 6 and only 9 graded higher. So that makes this one of the 18 highest graded copies in a PSA slab. Let's move on to 55 Parkhurst, a beautiful Rocket Richard, Maurice Richard, PSA 7, a beautiful Jean Beliveau, PSA 6, and a Jacques Plante. So really the three kind of core Montreal Canadian players that were there in 1955. And, you always want to look at the 55 Parkhurst. You want to look at the borders on the red. The Richard is beautiful. Like the red border on the Richard, I'm going to pull that up in a moment, and we'll have a look at the Beliveau and the Plante as well. But look at that. Like this is really nice. It's not perfect, but it's very nice compared to the Beliveau, which you can see some fading along the bottom and the edges, but the yellow is coming through. So I think that just might be the way it was printed. I'm not 100% certain on that. And then the Plante, this one's graded a 4. Outside of like the border of the red, this is such a nice copy as well. And I've noticed that I don't know if I've ever seen a perfectly centered Plante rookie. So some 3 nice cards. You can get into 3 nice Hall of Fame 55 Parkhurst cards. The Plante being the rookie, the Beliveau. Look at the Richard. It's up to $2,600 in a PSA 7. That tells me that the population on this must be quite low. And I'm just not sure exactly what it is. You ready to go to the next 3, Josh?
Yep.
All right. Hello, Jeff McMahon. Good to see you. Anonymous Facebook user. Good to see you as well. Put your name in if you don't mind so we know who you are. Howie Morenz, also from 55 Parkhurst. This is an old-time great. So, we often see the all-time greats cards in the 1960 top set, and we will see some of those tonight. But these are lesser known, I find. The 55 Parkhurst had a little subset called old-time greats right there. Look at that. And there's the Howie Morenz. Well past his playing days, of course. I think he was well past his living days, actually. But this is a really cool card, a PSA 8. I think this is the first time that we ever really saw, retired players hit, being in hockey cards and with a specific subset, either old-time great or something like that. And here we see it right there, the Howie Morenz PSA 8, currently sitting at $750. Also in 55 Parkhurst, I think for the first time, we saw stadium cards, Montreal Forum and Maple Leaf Gardens. And I just wanted to share these with everybody tonight because these are neat. This is the building as it was depicted in 1955, the Montreal Forum. And here's the Maple Leaf Gardens, like 2 of the original 6 buildings on cardboard. PSA 5 on the Gardens and a PSA 6 on the Forum. Really neat cards. I've never owned either of these. Look at the clouds in the sky painted in there, the nice blue sky. More clouds here in Toronto than you had in Montreal. I just think these are neat cards, and I wanted to bring them to everyone's attention that they do exist, and I'm sure that they will resonate with somebody out there watching or listening who wants to maybe pursue them either tonight or one day. Josh, any thoughts on these 55s?
Just interesting cards, like you mentioned. The Howie Morenz all-time great is, like you said, one of the first times you see a retired player in a card, and then just to be able to glimpse back at those old stadiums and get a flavor of what the atmosphere was like around NHL games around at that time is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, 240 right now on the Gardens, 220 on the Forum, and 750 on the Howie Morenz. We're moving to 1957. The two key rookie cards on either bookends here, the Henri Richard in a PSA 5 and the Frank Mahovlich in a PSA 7. And in the middle, we have a Jacques Plante, which is his 1957 card. And I bring this one up because back in my earlier collecting days, I used to think that this was the rookie. I feel like it looks a lot like his rookie card. So have a look here. I'll actually bring them up side by side. If I can, let me go find the rookie again. So here's his rookie card. And I just want everybody to kind of be aware. There's the rookie, and there's, I believe 57 is his second year card. I don't think we had cards in 56. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's his second or third year card, and that's the rookie. And if you're not looking at them side by side, you might, I don't know, I got confused by them. I think some people could too, because I know that in his rookie card, he's got one of his limbs is extended out right there. And then this one, it's kind of extended out again, although his leg is out too. So I just want to, feature these cards beside each other, the rookie card and the second or third year card right there. And the third year card in a PSA 6 sitting at 240. The Henri Richard in a PSA 5 is such a great card. And this one is, that's a 5. And it's hard to know. Oh, maybe, you know what? There's something going on right up here, right there in the logo. And maybe a little bit blurry in the eyes. So maybe a slight registration issue. But otherwise, this card looks to be in really good shape. And of course, a Mahovlich PSA 7 sitting at $1,575. Good evening, Gary Saboth. Good to see you. Happy holidays to you as well. Hobby Champs in the house, and the professor joins us as well. Josh, what do you think? Am I out to lunch, or can you see how a young Jeremy Lee in his early collecting career could confuse the two early Jacques Plante cards?
Oh, totally. The sets are so similar too. It's not only are they in similar poses, but they just have a very similar look and feel to them. Kind of the same artwork, the same way the players are depicted. And Jacques Plante had quite the poses, man.
Yeah, and the same red sort of stripe coming down the far right of the card. Obviously, this one doesn't hit the border where this one does, but yeah, that used to throw me for a bit of a loop. Still in 1957, I just love this card of Tim Horton. I think it just makes him look so, I don't know, just it almost reminds me of an earlier portrait card from the early 1900s. I mean, he just looks like a beast there. PSA 7, a nice Tim Horton 57 card. And then from 1958, we've got the Maurice Richard, and from 59, the Jean Beliveau. So 3 years in a row here of hockey cards. You can see that the design doesn't change much from 58 to 59. So for those of you who are, you might be at a show, you might be looking at cards online, and you may kind of be wondering, what year is this? Because even sometimes listers can get it wrong. So 58 and 59, very similar in design, and but also, pretty cool cards. The Richard from 58 in a PSA 6 sitting at 270, and the Beliveau from 1959 in a PSA 6 is sitting at $115. All Hall of Famers, all really, really cool cards. The professor says that Mahovlich has been slowly going up in bids, as it should. He's a key Hall of Fame rookie. He's not Gordie Howe, Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, but he's kind of in that next tier, especially when you're considering he played, he's a Toronto Maple Leaf rookie, and the Leafs just don't have a ton of players to collect historically. They have some, but they don't have kind of the same caliber as some of the other teams do. Louis, what's going on? Good evening. Yes, I am back to the t-shirt after the dress shirt last night. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Josh, just jump in if there's anything you'd like to mention as we continue through 1960, you guys. So here are the all-time greats. We saw the old-time great from 55 Parkhurst earlier. Here are the all-time greats. The reason why I'm bringing up the Hugh Lehman, who many of you have probably not heard of, I know some of you have, but if you are doing the PSA Hall of Fame set registry, you need this card. This is the card that is on the registry for the Hall of Fame set for Hugh Lehman. He is a Hall of Famer, and this is his rookie. This is considered his rookie card as the all-time great. We also have a PSA 7 Stan Mikita. As you may recall, last week or the week before, we sold my PSA 8. This is a 7, and this is a pretty nice looking copy overall. No real red ink bleeding through to the front. Slight little issue here with the K, a bit of a line through the K, a very small fisheye up there that doesn't bother me. Centering is pretty good. It's a little bit low, a little bit to the left, but still very nice. I think it's a nice looking Mikita rookie. And then a King Clancy from the all-time greats. And I just think that this image of him kind of like skating out of the card is a really neat image. And again, this is a retired player's card at this point. And he went on to do other things in hockey, but it's a PSA 7 all-time great. I just love the green Maple Leafs jersey that they wore, I believe, for special occasions back then. Josh, what do you think of these last few cards?
Well, I agree with you. A pretty nice PSA 7 copy of the Stan Mikita. And then just to see the Hugh Lehman and the King Clancy, these are cards we don't see too often. They're not every week cards on the PWCC Weekly. And so it is kind of fun to have them in this week's auction and be able to appreciate them a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. And that's why I brought them up. I want to use this show to, introduce people to some cards that you might not be otherwise aware of. So we're not just looking at the rookie cards week after week. We want to bring up some others as well. Here's a PSA 9 61 Parkhurst Terry Sawchuk. Now, I mean, PSA 9 from 1961, that's a great grade. I love the backgrounds where they have the repeating emblem, the different colored background behind them. In this case, it's, red on yellow. It's a color match, of course, because of the red emblem and the Red Wings logo in the background. Huge blocker pad right there, or just blocker. Like that is a big blocker that Terry Sawchuk wore, but he needed it to protect that face of his, which got, several pucks to it over the years. I just think it's a really cool looking card. There's a PSA set registry that is for Hall of Famers, but it doesn't have to be the rookie card. You can do the rookie Hall of Fame, or you can do just a Hall of Fame and just take your highest graded card for each Hall of Famer and put it in there. Well, this would be a great opportunity because it's a PSA 9 and you're not going to pay rookie card money for it yet. It's a much nicer card than his 51 Parkhurst rookie because it's just such a cool looking card. We have two 1964 Topps Tall Boys that we're going to look at, the Bobby Hull and the Tim Horton. Again, look at that. The Horton in a PSA 8 is at $1,550 and the Bobby Hull PSA 7 is at $700. And these are just hard cards to find in really top condition because they're so big. They were more prone to bending at the corners, folding in half or the top third, that kind of thing. So these are just really nice cards. And let's open them up and take a look. Let's just take a look at them. Look at the centering on this is so nice. It's not perfect, but it's hard to get these with perfect centering. It's just such a cool looking card. The Horton, same thing. A lot of people back in the early 90s, when we went through that junk wax era boom in sports cards, a lot of the guys that were our age back then in their 30s, 40s, early 50s, they were going back and collecting these cards because that's what they remembered from their youth. I remember it. I had a card shop and they used to come in and want to get the 64 Tall Boys. And so these cards are pretty cool for that generation for sure. And I'm sure for some younger people now as well, hopefully at least.
Hey, Jeremy, I just want to make one comment on the Tim Horton. What I think is really unique about that card is it's almost like if you look at the angle of the photograph, the photographer was sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
And the lens had to be pointed. You don't see too many hockey cards where they have that effect, and it kind of gives the player, in this case Horton, that larger than life sort of effect on the image.
It does. I agree. It does give them that larger. Yeah. Good call. All right. We have some 65. Well, 165, the Cheevers rookie, the Jerry Cheevers rookie, Hall of Fame rookie. This has above average PWCC eye appeal, $460 right now, PSA 8. And yeah, I mean, I can see why they gave it the eye appeal designation based on the centering, the corners, the edges are all very nice. I don't think that top right corner is perfect, but it's still very nice. That looks like a pretty perfect corner. Top left, bottom left looks good. Bottom right looks good. A bit of, and again, I don't think this is surface wear here where you're seeing a bit of the yellow, like printing plate come through, or just the yellow print come through the orange or the magenta. You're seeing it over here too. I think it's just a lighter print run on the magenta plate. I think I could be wrong, but again, a very nice looking card overall. When you look at just how bright the borders are, the centering is like perfect. Yeah, that's like perfect centering. Corners, edges, very nice. That's a really strong copy, I think. And then 2 1967 cards. Yeah, just 2. The Gordie Howe and the Rogie Vachon rookie card. You know, I like to look at these because this is one of my favorite sets from, kind of my favorite vintage hockey set. And the Gordie Howe is a PSA 8. The Rogie Vachon is also a PSA 8. The Gordie Howe, obviously it's off center to the left. Corners, edges, color, print, registration. Wonderful. From what I can tell here. Centering is the issue. I love that bright blue background with him in his red uniform, the yellow down here, the yellow on behind the name and the team. Such a cool looking card. And the Rogie Vachon. It's interesting. Here you've got a blue background with a yellow behind the information. And here it's yellow and yellow. I wonder why they, didn't mix that up a bit more. But this is a Hall of Fame rookie card, Rogie Vachon, a late elector to the Hall of Fame. He might have got in like one of his last eligibility years. But this is a Hall of Fame rookie that, you need it if you're collecting Hall of Fame rookies. Obviously, it's off center to the right, a little bit high. But again, as some cards we've just looked at, edges and corners, border looks really, really nice. So, if you're okay with these being off center as they are, these are going to be some really fine candidates for you. I just want to call out Jake Dahl, mentioned the Makita rookie. I think you like that too. Hobby Champ said, I almost bid on the Tim Horton just because I drink their coffee all the time. I came to my senses. Hey, I mean, Hobby Champs, he was a great player. He's a Hall of Famer too. So, but I hear you, I drink their coffee all the time. And I think that is it's obviously part of the legend of Tim Horton and the allure of his cards to the hobby, guys. We are 7 minutes away, maybe 6 minutes away now from all access extended bidding. So keep your eyes on the items you want. We have 81 cards tonight featured out of about 496 total hockey cards. So feel free to open up another browser, open the PWCC app, and surf all the items that are available at PWCCmarketplace.com. Josh, any comments before we move along?
Love the Gordie Howe. It's one of my favorite, I guess, non-rookie cards of his. And I just love the contrast between all the primary colors. You have the red, blue, and yellow. And then the illustrated background, I think, is just a neat effect behind the photo on him, and very representative of the time. And I think this is a very nice copy as well.
Good pointing, good call out on the primary colors, because it is it just looks so nice. And I do love this design. This is the same set that contains Bobby Orr's second year card, which is like my favorite Bobby Orr card. So, it's kind of like if you are somebody who wants a second year Bobby Orr card, well, now it's kind of nice to maybe pair it with the Gordie Howe from that year, and maybe the Beliveau, maybe get a few more Hall of Famers if that's your thing. Maybe you grab the Hall of Fame rookie from the set, the Rogie Vachon. I believe it is also the year that contains Glenn Sather's rookie card. I think that's the case. The the Hall of Fame coach and general manager from the Edmonton Oilers and the New York Rangers. So, he's got 5 or 6 cups himself. All right. Into the 70s now, a 1970 O-Pee-Chee PSA 7 Gilbert Perreault rookie card. This is almost always off-centered, as you see this copy right here. So, 7 is actually, like, the way I look at the Gilbert Perreault rookie, and there are other cards throughout the history of hockey and Hall of Fame rookies where you look at, like, the Bernie Perrant's another example, where I consider the grade to be one higher because it's that much tougher to get that next grade in this than it is any other card, pretty much from those eras. So to me, this is as good as owning a PSA 8, because the 8 is going to cost you what, relatively speaking, a 9 would cost you for another player of the same caliber, if that all made sense to everybody. So this is a great card. PSA 7 is a great grade for the Gilbert Perreault rookie, and you kind of have to lower your expectations as far as centering goes, because it's just so hard to find a centered copy of the Gilbert Perreault rookie card. I also wanted to bring up this second-year Bobby Clarke 1971 O-Pee-Chee because it's in such high grade, PSA 9. Another opportunity to get into a card of a Hall of Famer that is not a rookie, but a super high grade for, a lot less money than you would the rookie card of a high grade. And Bobby Clarke is he's a great Hall of Famer. He's got Stanley Cups. And this is his second-year card from the iconic 1971 O-Pee-Chee set. I thought that was worthy of showcasing. And finally, in this row, we have the 1970 Russian national team postcards, Vladislav Tretiak. And now this is a card I am not all that familiar with. You can see it's oversized, it's extra long, and it's a PSA 3.5, but I believe, look at the population. It's a Pop 1 with only 1 graded higher, you guys. That means this is a top 2 copy in PSA slabs of Tretiak, and some people consider this to be his rookie. I don't know much about it, but you got a nice portrait shot here, facsimile autograph down here, and an action shot up over here. And he's a Hall of Fame goaltender. Some people consider him the greatest hockey goalie of all time. Josh, I got to put it over to you. And, but before I do, I just want to bring up Hobby Champ's comment on the Perreault. He says, the 1970 O-Pee-Chee Perreaults are rare even in low grade. I need one in 6 or better, but I'm maxed out. Yeah, so just corroborating what I was saying. Over to you, Josh.
Yeah, it's interesting to learn about the Perreault, and, we have these specific cards that have that story behind them where just for whatever reason, that card has not graded well over time. And the Tretiak thing is always interesting to me because he seems to be maybe the NHL's greatest what if story, right? The one player that never played in the NHL that some people think could have been an all-timer had he wanted to or had that opportunity. I don't know enough about his story to understand if it was a want to thing or he was not able to. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of very serious goalie collectors love his stuff. And then I really like the 71 O-Pee-Chee Bobby Clarke. I just think that it's an amazing card. And this copy is ridiculous. It's so centered and has such great eye appeal that if you're a Bobby Clarke guy, I can't imagine you wouldn't be all over it.
Yeah, for sure. It's that's a good point right there. It's a good opportunity to get into a nice high grade early Bobby Clarke. 3 1974 cards here in a row. They look the same, but they are not. This is the Lanny McDonald rookie, O-Pee-Chee, PSA 9, Hall of Fame rookie. 74 is a tough year, and this is a high grade PSA 9. We have 2 Borje Salmings, and we have a PSA 7 and a BVG 9. And I thought we would have a look at both and see how the PSA 7, 2 grade points lower than the BGS grade, does relative to it. 280 on the BVG 9 and 130 now on the PSA 7 and 775 on the Lanny McDonald PSA 9, which I can see going for a bit more. I don't know comps or anything like that on the card, but I can see this going up in value. And what's really worthy of pointing out on the Lanny McDonald is notice the lack of mustache. This is what he hasn't looked like this since 1974, you guys. The guy has had a mustache his whole life. I see him. I run into him sometimes here in Calgary. I'll see him at the airport. He lives here, and he's still got the mustache, and he's still, he's a Flames ambassador and just a wonderful guy overall. So 3 cards right there from 74 to keep your eye on. If there's any there that you're interested in, you have your choice of 2 Borje Salmings. And, with the BVG 9, you do kind of want to, oh yeah, that is definitely a pack pulled card, which is, what you want to see, I believe. It's what I want to see anyway. So that is very helpful for the performance of that card, I believe, tonight. All right, next row.
Yeah, the Lanny McDonald last sold for $1,920 US on October 29th. And if you zoom in, it was actually this card sold in the PWCC Weekly at the end of October.
Oh, this exact copy has been sold and it is being resold now. So there you go. We'll see what it does. $1,900. It's at $775. Well, let's see if it can catch up at all to that prior sale. The BVG 9 just got a bid. It looks like up to $290 now. All right. 3 WHA cards. So for those that aren't aware, there was a competing league in hockey in the 70s. Just like you have LIV golf going against the PGA, you've had USFL football, all these different sort of competing leagues that have come up over the years. There was about an 8-year or so existence of the WHA, the World Hockey Association. Didn't have as many teams as the NHL. That had teams in Canada and the US. And Bobby Hull, the Hall of Fame player from the NHL with the stellar NHL career, one of the, probably top 3 NHL players of the 50s and into the 60s, he signed the first $1 million contract with the WHA's Winnipeg Jets in like 1972 or something like that. And this is his WHA card from 1975. O-Pee-Chee made NHL cards. They also made WHA cards for 4 years. A 5th year, if you consider the 1972 set that had WHA cards in Series 3, I believe is how it worked. So it's kind of cool. The best rookie card to ever come out of the WHA packs was this one right here. The Mark Howe rookie. He's a Hall of Famer, Gordie Howe's son. Gordie Howe had 3 sons. 2 or 3 of them played hockey. Marty and Mark, both. I think 2 of them, Marty and Mark. And Mark was the better of the 2. This is his rookie card. It's actually a pretty highly pursued card. This is a PSA 6, so it's not going to go for huge money. It's at $25 right now. This is a Bobby Hull card from 1975. And we have the Bobby Hull card from 1974 and a PSA 8. And I think this was like a 66 card set, something like that. And I've owned this set over the years a few times. Josh, did you learn anything new there? Any comments on the WHA cards?
I don't know much at all about the WHA cards. And I guess I'd have a question for you. Like, are they collected much, or are they viewed as like a lower class of cards than NHL cards, or where I just don't see them very often? And I'm trying to figure out if that's because they're extremely rare or there's just not as much interest.
Yeah, they are. I call them a niche sort of thing. There's no real great rookies. Hobby Champs is saying he can't believe Mark Howe isn't in the Hall of Fame. I thought he was. Maybe I was wrong about that, but I did think he was in the in the Hall of Fame. But I think he was I think he got elected to the Hall of Fame, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, they're not like, there's not a lot of recognizable players. You got Bobby Hull, Jacques Plante is in a couple of the sets. I think Dave Keon might make an appearance. Some players did cross over into the WHA. And then in I think after the 79-80 season or the 78-79 season, the league collapsed and 4 of the teams merged into the NHL. The Quebec Nordiques, the Hartford Whalers, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Edmonton Oilers all became NHL teams, lost all their best players, and they went on from there. Luckily for Edmonton, they had Gretzky, so that worked for them. It worked well against the Winnipeg Jets, who had Bobby Hull and Anders Hedberg and Ulf Nielsen, Lars-Erik Schuberg, some great players. But it's more of a niche thing, Josh, I would say. Richard Goring confirms that Mark Howe is in the Hall of Fame, if that's what you're saying, Richard. Yep, Jeff McMahon confirms. And Hobby Champs is thinking of Brad McCrimmon. Oh, yeah, Gordie Howe's other son, Brad McCrimmon, Hobby Champs. All right, let's keep on going. Two Wayne Gretzky rookies and the Gordie Howe. Let's look at the Gordie Howe first. We don't often look at this card. We have in the past, but I bring this card up because this is Gordie's final playing days regular card. Now, it is an NHL Hartford Whalers card. He is pictured in the New England Whalers of the WHA. So it's a WHA picture, likely and possibly the same game that this picture was taken in. Wayne Gretzky's rookie card, maybe from the same game. If these two cards are from the same, if these two images were taken at the same game, well, that'd be pretty awesome. And I'm glad to own both of them. I think this is a really cool Gordie Howe card. His final year. This is a PSA 7. Low grade. It's a tops card even, which is not going to be as desirable as the O-Pee-Chee. But I wanted to just showcase it because I want to put it on people's radar. It's a really cool card. We have a PSA 6 tops Gretzky rookie and a BVG 6.5. The Beckett 6.5 is at $825, and the lower graded PSA 6 is currently at $950. But let's put these beside each other and just have a look and see how they compare. The PSA 6 off center, obviously to the right, a little bit of white showing on the bottom right corner, and the BVG 6.5 also off center and a little bit more kind of issues down. I think worse corners than the PSA 6. Oil drop is good on both. This one's a bit of a blurrier picture of Wayne's face than this one. This is crisper, the BVG 6.5. To me, they're almost like, I don't know. I think I might prefer the BVG copy in this case because of that, just how focused his face is compared to, look at that. Like that's kind of out of focus there. And you can see the word Oilers is a lot lower than the word Edmonton, where here it's higher up, but you have a different sort of registration issue. Just a little bit, the yellow and the magenta plate aren't lined right up. So, pretty interesting stuff there. Take your pick if you're in the market for a tops Gretzky rookie or the Gordie Howe. Mitch Grotman says that I am right. The Gretzky rookie photo was taken during a game versus the Whalers. Well, that must be the same game then, guys, because like why wouldn't I think we can with I don't know, call it 75% confidence say it's the same game. At least I'm willing to say that about it myself and put those cards together, and that just adds a whole new dimension that I never really noticed. Josh, your thoughts?
I agree with you. I actually prefer the BGS 6.5 to the tops PSA 6. Interesting, the price difference right now. So I wonder if that has to do with, maybe it just has to do with the fact that some people aren't as big a centering snob as I might be. And then the Gordie Howe, I really love this card, and it just strikes me how old he looks on the card every time I see it.
He looks like he's in his 70s. Like look at him. Yeah. The gray flow. Maybe he looks, 65 years old. But let's see. He's probably born in 1930, something like that. And this is 79. So he's only 50 years old or so, I would think. So,
and it almost looks like he's like propping his weight up with his stick. Like it just may be a bad photo, but he looks like I said, like a senior citizen in that card.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's keep on going. We've got a Brett Hull rookie, but this one's autographed. And I thought that was interesting and worth looking at. It's an in-person auto. The card is graded a 9. The autograph is graded a 10. It's the O-Pee-Chee rookie. Autographed here, blue on blue. I don't know. Like, where else is he going to autograph it? Across his face? Probably not. Way up here? Nope. So I don't know how much better he could, unless you were to autograph it like sideways up here, but that's not going to look as good. But does this look good? I don't know. It's still autographed. Pretty cool. I wanted to highlight it for everybody tonight. Mr. Rogers. I seem to be seeing more and more just social media, just like mentions of Mr. Rogers. This was a fans of the game card from Pro Set Platinum in 1991, PSA 9. I mean, who doesn't know about Mr. Rogers? Just a neat card. that does exist. $25 for the PSA, and I'm not sure what the population is, but I think this is one of those cards that kind of it's in a hockey set. It's obviously not hockey. They say he was a fan of the game. Okay, great. Personally, if I want this card, it's for Mr. Rogers. It's not because he was a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And then finally, 1995. This is a Upper Deck Be a Player die cut Gretzky auto BGS 9.5. And this must be his first, if not one of his first autograph cards. And it's one that kind of like, I'm not too familiar. I remember you could buy a pack of this product and there was an autograph in every pack. It was like the first pack. It was the first autograph per pack product, I think. But this is a card that is kind of not really on my radar, and maybe it should be more on my radar. BGS 9.5, autographs of 10. Josh, did you happen to study this for the podcast at all, or any comments on any of these cards?
I think that the Gretzky must be a relisting, because it was 1 or 2 weeks ago we had this card. Because remember, we were trying to figure out if it was licensed or not, and then
was that this card? Okay,
that was it.
Okay,
I think that was this card. Yeah.
All right, good stuff. How about Mr. Rogers? Did you grow up watching Mr. Rogers like I did?
I did, but I was kind of creeped out by, for whatever reason, it's like what was this, like the magical land? I can't remember what it was called, but that's
Land of Make Believe.
The Land of Make Believe, and then Fraggle Rock kind of creeped me out too. It was like weird puppets. I just had a thing with, I guess. And then the Brett Hall. I agree with some of the comments that, man, if somebody could have found like a yellow Sharpie or something like that, that they would change that card immensely.
Oh, right. A yellow Sharpie would definitely change. Yeah, you are correct about that for sure. That would definitely be interesting. I hear you. Okay, let's continue along. Hobby Champs does say that this Gretzky is the more rare die cut version. I believe the last one was the regular version. So that's definitely interesting. And CC says the Gretzky Be a Player is the second year of Be a Player. But did he have an autograph then, CC, in the first year of Be a Player? That would be my question. And Name says Mr. Dress Up was better than Mr. Rogers. Too bad they both don't have cards. Then the price would tell the story there, would be the scorecard perhaps. All right. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, 90s insert. And this is a parallel of an insert, the 1996 Metal Universe Ice Carvings Superpower. And this is actually a really good picture of it. It really shows just how much that picture and the background glows like that. Like, I have a copy of this. I am looking at it. Actually, my Lemieux is put away because it's in a different slab. But I love these ice carvings. I have a Fedorov over there, a Yager, a Bure, and a McGillney. And I also do own a Mario Lemieux. I love this card. It is beautiful in hand. I think it's the most beautiful card of the 90s as far as hockey card. Well, there's the Atomic Refractor as well. I put these two as my top two favorites overall. It's not numbered, and it's not super rare. They come up every so often, but these are beautiful. This is a Pop 5 graded higher in PSA 9. I love it. As I said, I own one. And, if it's a card you're interested in, I got to think you'll love it's just a card you can look at for a long time. Look at this. 1996 Upper Deck Black Diamond Wayne Gretzky Gold. This is a Pop 5. It's a PSA 9, 1 graded higher. It's at $1,025. It's a card that a lot of people love. And great. I don't own one, never have. It's not my favorite card for whatever reason, but that's just me. This is a grail for a lot of people. I saw someone recently say that this is their all-time favorite 90s Gretzky card. So, to each your own. We all have our own personal tastes on things. So I don't know the popular. We do know the pop. I just said it. Pop 5, 1 graded higher. So a top 6 copy. I don't know how many what it's number 2 or the print run. I don't think it's numbered, but I wonder if the print run is maybe assumed to be 100 or something like that, or 50. If anyone knows, please let us know. And then finally on this row, the 1997 Donruss Preferred Precious Metal Platinum. This is not a PMG. It's not from that family of cards. Precious Metal Platinum Wayne Gretzky. Pop 3 in a BGS 9 with 8 graded higher. And this card actually contains 1 gram of platinum It is actually made out of a gram of platinum. So this is, if you look closely, this card is what's it called again when you put it in plastic? What's that called? Like a lot of ID cards are. What's that called?
Laminated.
Say it again.
Laminated.
Laminated. Thank you. This card is actually laminated in plastic, and you can see it inside the Beckett sleeve as well. They're a little bit smaller than normal cards, but they do have metal in them. So a really neat card. These are hot back in the day. It's at $650 in the BGS 9. Mitch Grotman tells us that the Black Diamond Gold is a stated print run of 50, meaning that's what the Upper Deck would have said back in the day, but it is not numbered on the back. Hobby Champ says it doesn't say it, but the Platinum Gretzky is limited to 100 copies. That is this one here. So this is out of 100. This is out of 50. The Lemieux is not numbered. All right. And CC confirms that Gretzky did have an auto in the first year of being a player, the year before this one. So this is not his first autograph card, according to CC in the chat. All right.
The Gretzky Gold, Jeremy, is already at a record high.
A record high. I think it's getting more attention than it has ever really gotten in the past, is kind of what I think is the case. So yeah, that definitely would make sense to me right there. So, okay. Oh, and the Platinum just got another bid up to $675 now. All right, next row. This is an awesome card. 2002 Upper Deck Premier. This was the highest end product before the Cup came out, and until the Cup came out, I think that's right, because Ultimate didn't come out until 05. No, Ultimate didn't come out until, no, Ultimate came out in, was there an Ultimate in 04? I'm just not 100% certain right now. In any event, Premier in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003 was the highest end product. And this is a Wayne Gretzky game used all-star jersey piece patch out of 25. Awesome card at $120. Love it. And then we're going to get into some more 2005-06, the Cup base patch parallels, as well as the one-of-one Ilya Kovalchuk. Here's a Kiprasov at $165. And look at that patch right from the Flaming Sea. A beautiful, beautiful patch on the Kiprasov. We've got the one-of-one Ilya Kovalchuk here at $725. And back in 2000, Kovalchuk was the Bedard of the day. He was the Ovechkin or Crosby of the day. So that he's not anymore. You know, he left he kind of left the NHL early, went over to play in Russia, cut his NHL career short, but he was a great player for many years. Three more Detroit Red Wings Cup base patch parallels. Brendan Shanahan, one color, a nice Steve Yzerman, two color, and the third time we've seen really in the last few weeks a Gordie Howe. We saw a really nice two color, we saw a one color, and we're seeing another two color right now. Look at that patch though. It is absolutely ridiculous. So very cool. Mitch Grotman says 0405 Ultimate. Yeah, I knew that because that's got those beautiful auto patches and even the first scripted swatches, whatever they called them then. Confirms that there was no 0405 Ultimate that preceded 0506, but Premier was probably more high end since that Ultimate didn't have real rookie cards. And Steven says that Howe has some bad printing loss on the top front. Oh yeah, look at that right there. Right there. This must have been in a screw down of sorts, and yeah, a little bit of the top layer came off. Now this card is still very special, you know? Like, yeah, that would detract me. I'd pay more for one that didn't have it, of course. What's this priced at right now? It's sitting at $850 nonetheless, because, well, these cards are just awesome. And as you might know, if you've been watching the last few weeks, these are among my favorite cards in the hobby. In hockey, here's three more. Patrice Bergeron, a beautiful three-color patch at $80. A Patrick Waugh, the third Patrick Waugh we've seen in a row. Number 10 of 10 at $195. I bought the one last week or the week before. And then we have a Chris Pronger, a really cool Pronger patch right there. Hall of Fame defenseman, one of the best defensemen of all time. Gets like zero hobby love, but a great, great player. Like, was he second or third drafted overall in his draft year, and a really nice 2-color patch right there. The Patrick Waugh patch, that might even be a 4-color. Let's just open that up and see. I say 4 because am I noticing? Like, yeah, look at that white, black, teal, and I think that's silver right there. I think that's silver. I'm not 100% certain, but it doesn't look to be white. That looks to be a little bit different than white. So now it's not the strongest 4-color patch, but it's still a 4-color. No real issues on the surface on this one. And I don't know why the owner of these cards, had some of them graded by Beckett, and then these ones are just, MBA certified authentic. Don't know how they came up with that decision, which ones to certify and which ones to grade. But the Shannon doesn't seem to have any of those issues, nor does the Yzerman or these 3 here. Look to be pretty good. Hopefully it's just the Gordie Howe that has that issue. Here's 3 more. Marty Turco. Look at that patch. Look at that patch. Dominic Hasek. It's a 1-color patch, but it's Dominic Hasek. And this Grant Fuhr card is just beautiful. Nice 3-color patch. Oilers piece obviously matches the jersey. Just gorgeous overall. Yes, Louis, that is All-Star Game patch again on the Patrick Waugh. Yes, it is. And the back of the card states as such. Here's 3 more, guys. We got the Jean Beliveau at $450. Just an amazing card. He played in the 50s. I think Upper Deck only ever really had one of his game used jerseys. You do have the ability to get scripted swatches, honorable numbers that are out of 4. Our friend Mitch has one. The scripted swatches is out of 25. So not a lot of his game used mem going around in Upper Deck cards. Here's a Jerry Cheevers. If you're going to buy his rookie card we looked at earlier from 1965, well, now you can pair a piece of game worn memorabilia in an 0506 Cup card with that if you want. And Doug Gilmour, it's a 1-color white patch, but it's Doug Gilmour. They called him Killer. He was, he's just a great, great player. Josh, I have 3 more to look at still, and then I'll get your comments. So thanks for being patient. Ed Belfour. We saw the Ed Belfour sell a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a different copy. We've got a Jason Spezza. He had he was like, okay, you had Ilya Kovalchuk in the year 2000 as kind of like the hobby darling. And then you had Jason Spezza and Rick Nash come along a couple years later. And they were the first guys to have RPAs. And it was Spezza or Nash's rookie was the first one to cross that $1,000 mark on the secondary. But the first modern hockey rookie to pass $1,000 I think it was Rick Nash, who was on the cover of Beckett, but Spezza was right up there with them. And then we have a Roberto Luongo. Not the nicest patch, but still an awesome card of one of my favorite goalies and just hockey personalities of all time. That's it for the cup-based patches. There are a few more in the auction. Josh, any comments on any of these? We've got several of them here that we're looking at.
Again, it's like we're 3 weeks into this now with these amazing opportunity to own these incredible cards. And, once this run is through, we probably won't see it again. And especially the ones where the patches, like that Kiprusoff patch, is insane.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. The Kiprusoff patch is absolutely stunning. That's this one right over here. All right, let's continue along. We are now 5 or so minutes away from the first tranche of cards that will end in the auction that are showing orange underneath. Everything we're looking at here is green. So these are all going to go into the next window. We are 5.5 minutes away. I'm just going to take a second, Josh, and scroll all the way to the top and see okay, here's one that's orange. So the Mr. Rogers might not get to the next level. These 3 cards, the Gretzkys and the Gordie Howe, they need bids to get to the next level, or they're going to sell at these current prices. Same with the Bobby Hall from 1975 O-Pee-Chee WHA. The PSA 7 Borje Salming needs a bid in the next 5 minutes, as does the PSA 9 1971 Bobby Clark, or it's going to sell for $430 plus the buyer's premium. We got Tretiak just got a bid. That's a cool piece. Somebody, I hope, listen, it's not a card that I'm interested in for my collection, but it's a cool piece. I just, if you win it, let me know. Put it on your Instagram if you're on there. Let me share it to my story and just spread the news, spread the word on that cool card. The Gordie Howe needs a bid to get into the next window. All three of these need bids. They're all red still in the next 4.5 minutes. Same with the King Clancy. These two are going to go into the next window. The Richard and the Beliveau from the late 50s Parkhurst, they need bids, as does the Mahovlich rookie in PSA 7. The Maple Leaf Gardens, the Howie Morenz, old-time great at $750. His rookie card is 1923 William Patterson, guys. That's his rookie card. This is from 1955. That's 32 years later. He was deceased by then. Pretty cool. Bids needed on the Richard at 2,600 and the Beliveau at 320 to get into the next window. And the Fred Sasakamoose also needs a bid. Oh, look at this. PSA spelled his name wrong on the label, but PWCC spelled it right. I got to say, Josh, I love seeing when PWCC overrides the PSA label. I think that is just awesome. Okay, so let's go back down to where we left off, which was just after the cup cards here. And we have 3 Ovechkins here, Josh. We have a BGS 9.5 Young Guns, and we have 2 of his Beehive Gold rookie cards, both in SGC 10 holders. One's at $300, one's at $260. I mean, they look to be the exact same to me. The Young Gun is a true gem. All 4 subgrades are 9.5s. Ovechkin has 5 goals in 26 games. He didn't score again tonight. His goal output pace is, really diminished from last year. He's on pace for what? 15 goals? 15 goals he's on pace for, right? So, at that pace, he needs 5 more seasons of 15 goals to break Gretzky's record. I think it's still doable, but I'm not as confident as I was at the beginning of the season. So all that. Yeah, Josh, what do you think about the Beehive? I know you like his Parkhurst rookie. Do you have any affinity towards his Beehive rookie?
I don't even understand what was Beehive. Can you explain that to me?
So Beehive was a Beehive, I believe, was like a honey or a honey product that came out, in grocery stores and in certain, and I think they made other products as well. Someone out there is probably laughing at me, Jeremy. They didn't make honey, they made this and that, but they made something, probably honey. It's called Beehive. And then you could get these oversized cards in their food products. And they were kind of like, they were just oversized. I don't know how else.
Was that a Canadian food manufacturer or
probably if they're making hockey, I would think they were. And so they were oversized. They had a big following, but the people that collected those, I think they're mostly older people now. I don't know how many younger people are still going for them, but if you go to your local regional show, your regional shows, you're going to see that older generation of guys that are still building those sets, like the 60 and 70-year-old guys. So back in 2005, Upper Deck did a throwback set to those cards and called them Beehives. And they look like those ones did, but they are more standard size. So that's what Beehive is. But please take a moment, go through one of Bobby Burrell's vintage hockey collector books. Or just Google, and you will find some more information on Beehive, what it was. Todd McDonald says corn syrup. Yeah, corn syrup was maybe their only or one of their actually at the expo in Toronto. There's this one booth near the front that actually has some Beehive like old corn syrup cans that they will sell because it's kind of hobby adjacent. We saw this card a few weeks ago, Josh, this limited logo, Guy Lafleur. It's appearing again. I guess it wasn't paid for. So here it goes again. Beautiful card. Out of 50, you've got him in a Montreal Canadiens uniform, but that's part of the Fleur de Lis from the Quebec Nordiques uniform, whom he played for. Of course, this card's going to end at $350 if it doesn't get a bid in the next 15 seconds. Same with this Crosby O-Pee-Chee Premier Remnants at $70. I don't know if, numbered out of 20. Let's just sit here and see if these two cards get bids in the next couple of minutes. It doesn't. Well, let's see if either of them got a bid. They didn't. 420 on the Lafleur and 84 on the Crosby. The Patrick Kane Young Gun is at $600. This dual auto, the 2 top scoring left wingers of all time, Luc Robitaille and Alex Ovechkin, sells for $210. The The Danny Heatley, Joe Thornton dual autograph shield goes for $650. Now, Danny Heatley might bring down the value, but Joe Thornton is on the back. Wayne Gretzky, PMG green, BGS 8.5. You might recall we sold my PSA 10 on here a few weeks ago. Is at $975. It says Pop 1, none graded higher. There are at least one in PSA slabs out there as well. We've got a BGS 8 Connor McDavid PMG blue rookie card at $4,800. Pop 4, 7 graded higher. And I, will take this opportunity to shout out. My PSA 10 is in the premier auction that ends on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that one ends at. But this is the BGS 8. These are out of 50 and it's at $5,000, which hopefully bodes well for my PSA 10. McDavid Young Gun PSA 9 does 900, and Vasilevsky PSA 10 Young Gun Pop 2 out of 25 autographed from buybacks sells for $516. That seems like a steal to me.
Drill into that. There's something I want to point out to you and ask a question about. I believe the auto is done in a paint pen, and if you zoom in a little bit, what you'll see is that, and Troy and I were trying to figure out what the word is for it, but it's almost like there was smearing. Is that the word you would use?
Yeah. It's not laid down beautifully. I see what you're talking about.
So I just wonder if that maybe made some people shy away.
It might have. It's still out of 25 though, right? Like it's
a cool card. It's a cool card.
Still so awesome in my opinion. Like, yeah. Even that wouldn't bother me, I gotta say. This McDavid buybacks patch auto does $990 from 2019. Jake Gensel, I wanted to just highlight his card because he gets like no real love except from Penguins collectors, yet he's really good. Like he might be, Crosby is just inhuman. He's non-human. Gensel might be the best player on that team outside of Sidney Crosby. I know Malkin's Malkin too, but this guy does not get the love. He's just overshadowed, Never mind him. Look at Stamkos. Stamkos doesn't get much love either, and he really should. Sebastian Aho, a great young player on the Carolina Hurricane. He's young, I guess. I say young, but he's probably 25, 26 by now. $195 for his Future Watch Auto PSA 10. That seems really cheap to me, as does the Gensel. But the Gensel Auto, Josh, doesn't look that nice. It's like, I don't like this part of it here.
Mm-hmm.
That would bother me personally, but still, it's his Future Watch. It's his Future Watch Auto rookie PSA 10 sitting at $130. Like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just seems too cheap to me. Yeah. Okay. Continuing on, Gretzky stature autograph numbered out of 5. PSA 9 is a 550. Beautiful card, color match, ink, background, jersey. Beautiful card. I want to skip ahead to the Elias Pettersson of the Vancouver Canucks PSA 10 Young Gun at 135. And then the reason I skipped over that before talking about this card is we've got the Sidney Crosby Young Guns acetate, throwback rookie in a BGS 8. And then down here we have the Ovechkin. So the the 2017 is when the Crosby came out, and Ovechkin came out the next year in 2018. $1,325 for Ovechkin, $1,425 for Crosby. This is an extraordinary pair to put together if that is something that anybody out there would consider doing. An amazing pair of cards, and a pair
Can
that
I
I
make
would
a comment on that?
Please.
You just had a conversation with Mitch that'll air on Christmas Day for our next masterclass, and one of the things we talked about in the context of the cup, but I think applies here as well, is I don't love when, especially for new collectors, when you're presented a card like this that says rookie on it and it's not a rookie. I think that's potentially very misleading to new collectors in particular.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It is. It says rookie here. That's why it's important that the grading really helps. I think is what I'm kind of trying to say there.
Sure.
The grading really helps because you have the label that basically says it's 2017 8 retro Young Guns acetate. Even that is not completely clear though. So.
And then really quickly on the Gretzky stature,
Yeah.
It's almost, we've talked before about certain cards. That feels like almost a perfectly designed card to me.
Oh, well said. Yeah. Like let's just open that up for a moment because it is. Let's just close
I mean,
some of these
it's like,
windows.
what else would you want in a sports card?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. On card auto, numbered out of 5, blue, nice gold frame around it. Yeah, beautiful card. Beautiful card. And the Elias Pettersson did sell for $162. As this Lafreniere card, I thought was gorgeous. He's having a nice year. You know, it's maybe not the best year, but he's having a nice year. He's trending upwards in his production. And this card sold for $234. It's a premier RPA out of 35 gold. PSA 8 does $234. And then we have a O-Pee-Chee Platinum Golden Treasures Crosby at $850. You'll remember last time we saw one of these was a nicer looking card from a different year, but it was the 101 Golden Treasures, and it sold for like $2,100 or $2,200. So this one might have some room to go still, but it's from a later year, and it's just not as beautiful of a design, in my opinion, but still a really cool card.
Quick comment on the Lafreniere, and more about the card than this specific one is, I just feel like watch out for the premier RPAs. That I just think that, man, the Upper Deck has done just such a nice job with them over the last few years. And, it's like, I think we were talking like Karn Ray once, who was talking about, how you make money in sports cars is you figure out what the next OPG Platinum is before it's OPG Platinum. And on the list of candidates for cards like that I can think of, I have the acetate RPAs for Premier on that list, that maybe 10 years down the road, they'll be even more chased than they are today.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay, let's scroll to the top. And so Sasakamu sells for $162. Oh, congratulations to the new owner of that. The Gordie Howe first year tops card, 54 tops, PSA 4 does $1,110. The Maurice Richard 55 Parkhurst PSA 7 does $3,120. While the Jean Beliveau PSA 6 does $384. Jacques Plante rookie PSA 4 still going at $1,400. The Morenz sells for $900, and the Maple Leaf Gardens does $288, while the Montreal Forum continues on. The second year Plante does $324, and the Frank Mahovlich PSA 7 rookie does $2,160. The Maurice Richard 58 Parkhurst does $325, and the 59 Beliveau does $138. The King Clancy does $45. These three have sold. Look at that. Tim Horton, $1,860. Bobby Hall, $840. And this beautiful PSA 9 61 Parkhurst Terry Sawchuk does $600. The Gordie Howe from 67 Tops does $990. And the Rogie Vachon rookie card does $750 in a PSA 8. The Bobby Clark does $516. Wow. The Borje Salming PSA 7 does $156. And look at this. Lanny is up to $13.25. I think last time we saw it, it was more like at the $700 mark or something like that. A couple more sales right here. The Bobby Hull 54, the Mark Howe $32. The Gretzky rookies have both sold $1140, $990, and for a measly $13, you get a graded Gordie Howe final playing days tops card. $990 on the 6.5 and $1140 on the 6, meaning that PSA still getting a premium, even in a lower grade, over the Beckett graded card. Mr. Rogers does $30, and the Brett Hull auto rookie does $336. Everything else seems to be going. This Gretzky needs a bid in the next 30 seconds. Everything else here is still going and into the next window, it looks like. The Marty Turco sold for a banging $26. The Jason Spezza does $30. And one of the Ovechkins is done now at $360. This one is still going. Needs a bid in the next 7 seconds. Sold. And we saw the rest of them. All right. Let's look at these acetates for a moment. $14.50. We are now 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go, everybody. All right. Into the next window. Josh, anything you'd like to discuss? Oh, and I'm going to go look at comments, guys. I apologize. I haven't been. Louis says Gensel is way underrated. Larry's Classic got the 74 hull for 50. Oh, yeah, it's an upgrade for $54. Name is, Sasaskamoose. That's all he sells for. I've seen them sell raw for more than that. I should have bid. Very nice. What's going on, Clay Phillips? The Nashville Predators are. I love that. I have O'Reilly and Forsberg in my fantasy pool this year. Larry's Classic won 3 of the 76 Bobby Orrs for cheap. Congratulations, Larry. Congratulations. Hobby Champs remember some of the oversized Beehive cards of the late 90s as well, at least Beehive-styled cards. Yeah. Jake Dahl, I'm looking for vintage Canadians Beehive cards. They're very cool. So, yeah, lots of people, I guess, are even still doing the Beehives. And Andrew says they are pretty rare from Upper Deck. 3 variants of the Beehives. The matte parallel is the rarest. Thank you for that information a few minutes ago there, 12 minutes ago from Andrew. 86 Collectibles got the Hask for $26. One of the Hasks, I guess, is what you are talking about. So very good. Congratulations to you on that. Josh, what do you think?
Well, maybe I'm learning how to walk and chew gum at the same time. So I bid and won on my first card tonight in the auction.
Oh.
And I thought you were going to sink me in like the last 20 seconds. I won the Gretzky game use patch from Premier.
I was thinking about going to put in a bid myself. So congratulations. I love it. I love it.
And I was kind of, it's not a card I planned on bidding on, but I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, game use patch. It's an all-star game patch because while you were talking, I was doing a little bit of the research, and I'm like, for $175, really? Like, am I missing something? Doesn't that not seem like a good deal, or do I just not know Gretzky game use patches well enough? Because I just don't think there's a lot of game use patches left, are there?
Dude, I think you stole it. I was like thinking the same thing. I think it's a great card, and yeah, congratulations. Like I'm very happy for you. I think it's an amazing card. So yeah, way to go. What else?
If I was distracted, I apologize. I was like, freak. And then you said with 20 seconds left, the Gretzky needs a pin. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No.
Stop it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. No, well, I'm like a little envious. I think it's such a wonderful card myself. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome for sure. The Ilya Kovalchuk's at $900. The Kiprasov, I'm sorry, is at $180. These need bids right now, everybody. The Shanahan's at $40. The Yzerman's at $270. The Gordie Howe is past $1,000. It's at $1,075. The Bergeron's at $145. The Waugh is at $230, and the Pronger's at $84. We've seen the Turco sell. The Hasek is at $92. The Fuhrer is at $125. The Belivo's at $600. The Cheever's $62. The Gilmore $60. The Belfour $72. Spezza sold for $30. Luongo's at $46. That covers off the Cup base patches. $1,200 now on the PMG Green. Wayne Gretzky BGS 8.5. I should buy this to replace my old one, but I'm not gonna. I'm just not gonna. $5,500 now on the out of 50 PMG Blue Connor McDavid, of which, again, just for transparency, I have a 10 that's in the Premier auction that ends on Thursday. The Aho does $252, the Gensel $156. I mean, Future Watch Autos, like that just seems like a good deal to me. $1,500 now on the Crosby acetate, and $14.25 now on the Ovechkin, and $875 on the Crosby Golden Treasures 1 of 1. Josh, any thoughts?
Yeah, I want to go back. Let's go to the Gordie Howe Cup out of 10, because I want to try to compare that quickly to the ones that sold a few weeks ago, and I'm trying to think of, like, because it's a pretty nice patch, but it has that loss at the top of the card. And so just to refresh everyone's memory, there was 2 that sold on December 3rd. There was a single one color patch that sold for $14.40 US with buyer's premium, of course. And then there was a really nice, 2 color patch, but with a number of breaks, and that went for $4,560. And so we're already at quite a bit less. And I just wonder if that loss at the top of the card is really impacting the price tonight?
It's a good question. Obviously I don't know the answer, but I could definitely see that it could be a part of that issue. But at the same time, like, as a collector of these cards, I would prefer this one to the one that we saw, the one color that we saw last time, because this patch is amazing. Like, look at that patch.
Yeah.
But then again, this would bother me.
But there's 10 too, right? So that it's not like it's out of 99.
Yeah. It's out of 10. So you got to kind of take it when you can get it.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I already own a copy. And for anyone who's watching it isn't sure, it's sitting right. It is right. It's the farther one away. So it's this one right there. That is my copy. And I absolutely love it. And that beside it is my Gretzky. I'm the proud owner of those. It's that just got a bid. Oh no, the Yzerman just got a bid up to 300. The Gordy is at 1125. I'm going to go to some comments now from you guys. Mitch says, great buy by you. Josh, name says it's a steal. CC is happy. Everyone's happy for you, Josh. Way to go. Is this your first time buying a card during the show?
Yeah, because I was always too afraid that I get really distracted. And I was like half listening to you, and then I'm watching the countdown and sweating.
Yeah. And I get that. Like it's just that cool, right? Like you had to get the card. I'm glad you did. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, and there's something too about about when you, and I don't know if you have this like phenomenon yourself or if other people's in the chat have it, but I mean, I was like, I didn't like have to have it, but I'm like, God, this is so cheap. I think it was like $115 at the time. I'm like, I'm going to put in a bid. And then once you go through the process of putting in the bid, now your whole psychology just changes around the card. And now it's like mine and everybody's trying to steal it. And it's making me angry every time somebody bids. So I just think it's funny how these auctions kind of play with our psychology.
Oh, 100%. How our psychology works. I totally, I am right there with you for sure. How that goes, right? No doubt. Okay. I want to get to 86 collectibles. This is my first auction win too. Guess I wait for an invoice now. I also picked up the 1954 Parkhurst at Sanford. And yes, you will get that invoice by the end of the night or by tomorrow. 86 collectibles. Congratulations on the win. And thank you for being part of the show and letting us know. That just makes it so much fun. Andrew has that super rookie vibe too. Nice pickup, Josh. Yeah, because it's from that 02 premiere, which was the first year of, no, not the first year of Premier, but the first year of RPAs at least, which were those super rookies, which is what Andrew is talking about. Larry says, now you know how I feel when you highlight a card I'm about to win. So I did it to you, Josh, and you've done it to Larry. I'm sure I've done it to Larry as well. Okay. Diamond Dog says, Tuukka Rask always gave me Marty Turco vibes. Two great goalies whose favorite emotion was to show anger. Yeah, right on. Mitch says, I think that will hurt the how the most is that two people would have been after it, already got a copy this month. Yeah, That's a good point too. That's a good point. Diamond Dog, don't bogart the nachos, Jay Lee. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Dan the Card Man, I'm facing some dilemma. An out of 10 soccer card I want has some damage, especially on the back behind the patch window, but it's also rare and the patch is filthy. What's it numbered out of, Dan? Is it rare? My advice is grab the darn card. That's my advice, but please, obviously, don't take it if you don't want to. If it's rare, grab the card. What's it out of? Can you let us know if it's?
You said numbered? Out of 10.
Oh, sorry, it's right there. Grab it, man. If you really want the card, and the damage is on the back of the card, and the patch is filthy, especially if the patch is filthy relative to other cards in the print run. Who cares about the condition? Grab the darn card, man. That's my advice. The Currency Project says the Spezza seems like a steal at $30. I think he's talking about the cup patch. Did that one sell already? The Spezza, it sold for $30. Yeah, that's a great card for $30. Diamond Dog says when the price is right, it's hard to be wrong. No doubt. Name says that's me every weekend, Josh. I think talking about wanting the card. Hobby Champs, the only hockey card that won is the Luongo Cup patches out of 10 for 30 and a Dion patch out of 50 for 37. Congrats, Hobby Champs. Congratulations. The Currency Project says to Dan the Cardman, grab the card now, and if another comes up later, upgrade and move the first one. That's an option. That's an option for sure. But then I'd really consider the patch differential. You know, I'd be looking at which patch. Andrew says, got distracted and was outbid on Mike Gartner. Damn, sorry to hear that. Andrew, sorry to hear that you were outbid on the card for sure. All right.
How many are left? Do we know?
Well, let me go to the top. I'm going to drill in. What I'll do is we'll go to the top. How do we do this? Do I just hit refresh? I think that'll work. Let's see.
I think so. I need to know if it's time to play Last Card Standing. It's my new favorite game when we do our show.
Let's see. We have. Just going to go look. So not many left. We're down to 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 cards out of everything that we were watching. So yeah, we are coming up to kind of the last few cards in the auction, I believe, is fair to say. The Borje Salming is at 12.75. This Lemieux is a card. Listen, I own a copy of it, but I say to everybody, like, have a look at an ice carving superpower. These are gorgeous. And I'm not saying this because I own one. I do. Know that when you assess what I'm about to say, but they're beautiful. Like, they're just so gorgeous. They're nicer than PMGs. They're so nice. Here's the Gretzky. This one I don't own, and I'm not a fan of this card, the Gold Black Diamond, but so many people are. It's at 11.50. It's probably going to keep on going up. They need bids right now. They need bids. The Shanahan's still live at 44. Yzerman at 310. Gordie Howe's at 11.25. Bergeron's at 175. Waugh at 240. The Prongers at 110. Hasek 110. Fuhr 155. Jean Beliveau's at 750.
Wow.
Cheevers 74. Gilmore 64. Belfour 86. And the last three cards still going are the Luongo here at 56. The Gretzky's up to 1,300, the PMG. And the blue stature auto is at 675. There we go. Josh, any sort of commentary you'd like to add?
I'm just not surprised to see the cup patches still going strong. And, I think those will be competitive down to the wire again. And there's just a nice mix of really cool, interesting cards. The one thing that does stand out a little bit, though, when we look at these final 18, is that the Borje Salming is really the only vintage card left, right?
Yeah, that we are watching. Of course, important to keep in mind
that we are watching.
That we are watching. There are several that we're not watching in vintage as well, but still that we are watching. Let's go to some comments here now. CC says, with Jay Lee out of the mix this week on the lower end cup patches, was able to pick up the lower end cup patches of Spezza, Turco, and Stahl. Congratulations, CC. Congratulations. We're going to be card bros on those cards, I believe. Diamond Dog, how dare you say something nice about a card you own? Yep. Yeah, you got to be careful what you say these days. As long as you disclose what you have, I think you're good. I mean, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do these shows if I don't buy cards, like I've been collecting my whole life. I think everybody knows that by now. And if you don't like it, don't watch. That's all I got to say if you don't like it. But I'm still a card guy. There is no doubt about it. All right. Let's see. Yzerman. I have a copy of the Yzerman. It's a nice card. My copy is a one color. It's a very nice one color. I'm very happy with it. This is a nice two color. I've seen a nicer two color. My friend Calvin has a nice two color Yzerman patch. And I mean, it's funny. There's only 10 of these and you kind of know where some of them are as you go through the years. I won the Patrick Wall last week and I forget what I paid. I think it was over 400 with the buyer's premium. But it does say on the back, worn in an all-star game for sure. 86 Collectible says, these last few months, I've fallen in love with vintage. I'll pick up random cards just to learn the history of the player.
Love that.
Yeah, that's a really fun approach for sure. 86 Collectibles. I think, the Beliveau is a great card. It's at $7.50. The Gordy's at $11.25. Gordy has a bigger following for sure. So curious to see. Yzerman just gets a bid up to $3.50 now. Maybe because I'm talking about it. I don't know. But nothing like, I don't know if we're going to see any bidding wars like we saw a couple weeks ago on the Modano and the Ray Bork. We saw the Gordie Howe that had a patch like this last time, but didn't have that kind of loss at the top.
Yeah.
What I say? It did like 2,100, 22, maybe. No, it did over 3,000, I think.
4,600 almost.
4,600 almost. Never you mind. Yeah, that's a big number, right? That's a big, big number.
Yeah.
So what's this one gonna do? I think it's gonna do something big too. I mean, I think it kind of has to, but don't know. I mean, can't really know for sure. But we will see. We will see in due course here for sure. All right, let's see some more comments. Andrew, I grabbed the Kane medallion and the PSA 7 Paul Coffey. Jeremy, let me know what you think about the grade. Strongest 7 I've ever seen on the Paul Coffey PSA 7 rookie, right? You're talking about, Andrew, you're talking about an O-Pee-Chee Paul Coffey PSA 7. I did notice the Kane medallion tonight in the auction. So congratulations on that. Texas Dave, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I know nothing about hockey. Well, you know what, Texas Dave, you came to the right place to learn something about hockey, I think, and I hope. So welcome to the show. Andrew says, yes, on the Coffee. Diamond Dog, I have a Reggie Jackson PC, but never consider myself a vintage collector. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Texas Dave is joining us on Twitter, it looks like. Texas Dave, welcome on Twitter. And Andrew, yeah, the Kane Platinum Medallion, yeah, that's out of 100. Exactly, and for sure. Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. All right. Let's go look at the PSA 7. Let's see how we're going to do this, though.
Could you search for it in the search bar?
Okay. This might slow down this is slowing things down. Let's see.
I wonder if it's only active cards, too.
Yeah, let's see. Is this one item in weekly? 7 hours remaining. What? Is it this one?
It has to be that one.
Let's click into it and see. We'll click into it and see what it is here. Just to be certain.
There we go.
Sold. Yeah, it looks nice. Centering obviously is off center to the right, but edges and corners look pretty good to me. Back seems to have a light print to it, but yeah, no, that looks, centering's pretty off, I would say. A little bit of surface issue right there and there if I'm being really picky. Back, usually on these 81, 82s, it's along the edges. You're going to see the cardstock coming through. I'm not seeing a lot of it on this one though, which is nice. A little bit up here. It is a light print on the card, on the blue. You can see it you can just kind of see like the snow effect coming through the borders here and here, but that's the back. Front. Yeah. I mean, outside of the centering, I think it's an okay looking card. Outside of the centering, it's a great looking card. So, I think you did. I don't know comps on it. I would want to see the comps, but outside of knowing comps, yeah, I think it's fine. If that, makes sense. All right. Josh, is Troy still in on that Gretzky?
Troy was in love with the blue stature Gretzky. So he's sick right now. So I don't know if he was bidding tonight or not, but I'm sure I'll find out very shortly if he gave up or if he's sticking it out.
And this level is ending here in 1 second, everybody. So let's see what's happening. Which cards have sold. The Salming does 1620. We're now into the 1 minute window. So these are going to start to go a lot faster. These are all still alive, all alive, all alive, all alive and all still going. So we've got some work to do, I think, in terms of getting some more of these cards to come to their completion. Not sure when that's going to happen, but we've got some work to do, everybody. And yeah, we'll see what happens here with more of the stuff. Off to the right, yes. Texas Dave in the house. What's going on, Texas Dave? Thank you for joining us here on the program. All right. So as we come to the bottom, we are down to, we were at 18 last time, Josh. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. So we only lost one card. We are now down to the 1 minute window. And I do think we're going to see these start to sell a lot faster. But you never know. Where there are bidding wars, there will be. Oh, and it's updating yet again for the first minute. Let's see what's going to happen here. Still seems to be updating on my system, so let's see what's going on. Don't know why this is taking so long. I apologize for that. Updating, but bids are coming in still. So can I just hit refresh maybe? Just bear with us here. And that window is over again. Third week in a row, the bidders are duking it out for cup patches. Yep. I missed out on a couple that I wanted, unfortunately. Consequence of doing the show. But that's going to happen. That is going to happen.
Jean Beliveau sold for just about $1,000. That's crazy. Nice sale.
Yeah, well, that's my card now.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So remind me how many cards are in that set?
I think it's 93. 93.
Okay.
I missed out on 2 that I'm very disappointed about. It's because that thing was delayed. So that's upsetting for me. Gordie Howe's at 1,400. The Yzerman's at 410. Yeah, I did not get the Fuhrer. Really upset about that. I really wanted that one. And I didn't get the Belfour. I'm also very upset about that. Definitely wanted those cards. So that hurts. That hurts. But I've already picked up a few. And there's one more I'm still trying to win. So we'll see if I can get it. We will see. We will see.
Were you in on the Kiprusoff, Jeremy?
I got the Kiprusoff. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got the Kiprusoff. And yeah, sorry, I am a little distracted. I did not get the Belfour, Shannick. I unfortunately did not get the Belfour, and I'm very sad about that, I must say. Very sad about not getting the Belfour and the Grant Fuhrer. Those were the 2. I really wanted the Grant Fuhrer. I can't believe I didn't get it. I'm like super mad right now. If anybody did get it and wants to sell it to me, please let me know. But I'm not going to count on that happening. But who knows? Maybe there'll be one that will come up in the next auction, because they are still, we're seeing them every couple of weeks. We're seeing some. The professor picked up the Esposito. Congratulations, Professor. Congratulations.
Did we have that one highlighted?
I don't think so. We had it last week, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if Grotman was good. Grotman, Esposito's Grotman's guy. So
he got the 101. I don't know if he was going to go for that one as well. I just don't know. Tough to say.
There he is. There he is. He's in the chat.
I bid you up, Professor, he says on the, so he was going for it, but he didn't get it. The Professor beat him out on it. Oh, I'm so upset I didn't get this Grant Fuhrer. I wanted that one really bad. Oh, I always like to say there's always more cards out there to buy. And in this case, that's one that I really would have liked to have gotten.
Would that have been an upgrade, or is that a card you don't have currently?
Don't have. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll be patient. That's the thing. These things, they do tend to come up every so often. The Gordy's up to 1575. Yzerman's up to 500 now. Bergeron, beautiful card, up to 380. The Wah sold for 360. 264 on Grant Fuhr. Man, I would have gone higher than that. Belfour 174. I would have gone higher than that. The Beliveau 990. The Gilmore 88. And the Luongo did $98. I think I won the Luongo. Let's see. I'll tell you which ones I've won. I won Drury. I won Brad Richards, Marian Gaborik, Dominic Hasek, LeCavalier, Kovalchuk, Naslin, Kiprasov, Heatley, and Beliveau. Oh, I didn't get the Luongo. I wanted the Luongo, but I didn't get it. Oh.
Look at the green Gretzky PMG for 1,700. The PMGs just keep falling and falling and falling. Great for collectors, but fascinating to watch too.
Yeah. What did mine sell for? Mine was a PSA 10. I don't remember what it sold for. I'd have to check what mine did. And mine sold, that was a few weeks ago now, right? So
I can look it up.
Thank you, Mitch. Who won the? I want to know who won the Grant Fuhr. I want to buy the Grant Fuhr from whoever won that one for sure. The professor says, Mitch, it's an honor to have you bid me up on someone of your stature bid me up. Chuck says my Gretzky did over 3K. Professor lost the premiere to Josh. Congratulations on the card, Josh. The professor was in on that one as well. So congratulations to you on that card. Where is it here? Oh, it's not
your Gretzky did 3,120.
3,120, and this one's at 17. Oh, sold for 1,770. So that's not so bad. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Now, do you think they labeled that correctly? I know it's like that's a weird thing about PMGs, right? Is that the card is really out of 10, but on the back, of course, it's out of 100.
They did. Yeah, I don't like that. I think that it's not a complete. I wish PWCC would say that it's maybe out of 10 and out of 100, but they just don't do that for whatever reason. So I wish they would. I got to say, I wish they would have done that. I think it would help the card sale because it does say out of 100 on the back. But, if you know that there's only 10 of these and there's 90 or, maybe there's, I forget, maybe some blues in there too. I'm not exactly certain, but I sure wish that they would have done it the other way. Professor got the stature. Oh, I hope Troy got the stature, he says.
I'm going to say I doubt he went up to 870.
Okay. We'll Professor picked up the DeBrincat rookie auto at a $9.99, the SP Authentic Future Watch. And Josh Packham says an Ovechkin BGS 9.5 Young Gun did decent sale tonight. Yeah, we'll take a look at that in a few seconds here. Let's go down and see what the Ovechkin Young Gun sold for. $1,740 for the Ovechkin.
Is that a true gem or a min gem?
It's a true.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Cheevers did $98. That's a good deal for a card of that with a nice 3-color patch like that. I feel it is anyway. Kipper 216. I'm happy with that. 1110 on the Kovalchuk. I wonder if anyone we knew got the Kovalchuk. Did anyone we know get the Kovalchuk that would like to stand up and let us know who might be watching? Oh, Cast 99. Josh, tell Troy I'm sorry. I got the Gretzky stature. Congratulations, Cast 99, on picking that card up. Congratulations.
Beautiful card.
To you. Oh, yeah. A beauty for sure. Congratulations to you on that. All right. So go back to the top. And, the gold Black Diamond Gretzky does 1710.
Into the next sale on that was $900. So that's a big number for that.
Yeah, I think, I don't know why. Maybe we haven't seen one in a long time, and golds are, all the rage sort of thing. I don't know why it does so much, but I'm not that familiar with the card myself. Gordy's up to 1,800 now, guys. Gordy's up to 18. Yzerman's up to 775. Everything else is done, right? Yeah, so what's left here? We've got 1, 2. Oh, just the 2 cards left. So we can sit right here on Yzerman and Gordie Howe and see what's going to happen here. Yzerman and Gordie Howe, and that is it.
I think the Howe has doubled in extended bidding.
Oh yeah. I believe that for sure. Yzerman is at 775. Howe's at 1,800. Yzerman's at 800 now. Howe's at 1,800, $1,000 apart, and it's updating. Let's see what's going to happen here, everybody. Professor, missed your chance of being a card bro. You lost out on the ice carvings Lemieux. What did that one sell for? Because, yeah, you guys know I love that card. Oh, 222. Like, that's, yeah. Yeah, don't worry, Professor. There are more opportunities. It's not the rarest of cards. You'll have more opportunities to find one of those. It's a beauty. I just think it's a beautiful card. I don't know. I wish we knew the print run. That would be really nice to know the print run of it, but we just do not know the print run. So that's that being that, I guess, right? All right, 1,850 now on the Gordie Howe and 850 now on the Yzerman. So we are still moving forward. Gordie Howe, it's the window is turning over right now, but we're going into the next window on both of them.
Not and shocking. Like said, which ones are left?
Just these two.
I'm not shocked by it. These are once in a lifetime opportunities again.
Craig's Cards. It's going to come up. It says, got the 1924 Lloyd Bill Cook uncorrected error, the first Bruins error card. Well, congratulations on that. And you grabbed the 85 Gretzky, graded 8.5, maybe slightly tilted clockwise. Nice for the PC. Yeah, I saw some of those. Congratulations, Andrew. I love the 85 Gretzky card. It is an absolute beauty, for sure. For sure. All right, so we've got bidding wars going on the Yzerman and the Gordie Howe, of which I am not involved. I'm happy to say I am not involved. And we are on to the next window now. Yzerman another bid up to 900 now. Gordie Howe going at 1,850.
So, Jeremy, do you have the Yzerman as part of your set? Okay.
I do have the Yzerman. I'm just upset that I didn't get the Grant Fuhr. Like I'm literally I'm so mad. Oh, I wanted that one. I wanted this card so badly tonight.
It's almost a perfect patch. Not trying to rub salt in the wound here, but
that's my thoughts exactly, Josh. It's a perfect patch. I wanted it. I wanted it, but I didn't get it. And life goes on. There's more cards. I'll wait. Maybe I'll find one in the next 5 or 10 years or maybe the person that bought this will sell it in 5 or 10 years. I guess we'll find out.
There you go.
As that time comes. When we have these auctions that have these cup patches, Josh, we go longer. Hey, like we're at a quarter after the hour. We're usually done by 15 minutes ago even. So. All right, well, let's see what's going on back at the top with the Yzerman and the Howe. Thanking everybody who is still with us. Yzerman's at 1,025 and Gordie Howe is at $2,000. We have bidding wars on our hands, everybody. And, we're going to see where these things go. We'll see where these things go. It's tough to say. What do you guys think? Any guesses from the chat as to what the Gordie Howe and the Steve Yzerman may sell for tonight? Any guesses from the chat? Would love to hear from you.
It's kind of crazy to think too on the Gordie Howe that now in the last 2 weeks, we've seen 3 of the 10 sell in the PWCC weekly.
It is, right? And I've got one above my shoulder. Like, yeah, it is.
They're almost all accounted for.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No guesses yet in from the chat. It's tough. I guess it's tough guess to get in, but we're still okay. So Yzerman is at 1150. He's going to go into the next window. Gordie Howe is at 2000, needs a bid in the next 28 seconds to get into the next window. So we are going to see. Right now, the most expensive cards from this set are these two, I believe, on the night. Even the Yzerman's even outselling Beliveau.
Yeah.
To my satisfaction, I must say.
I kind of wonder on the how of 2000 was somebody's limit.
4 seconds. 4 seconds on Gordie Howe. Here comes the... it sells. It sells for $2,400. And I wonder if Yzerman has a chance of catching him, because we seem to have some very motivated bidders in on the Yzerman right now. So we will see what comes. 40 seconds left for a bid to come in on the Yzerman. And if no bid comes, then we are done with the cards that we are watching tonight, and we can wrap up the show. 30 seconds left to get a bid in on the Steve Yzerman card. No one put in a guess from our audience. We got about 60 of you guys watching, and nobody put in a bid, or a guess, I should say. Somebody should have said, I think Gordie Howe's not going to get any more bids at 2000. They would have been right. And let's see, Yzerman gets another bid, and it's going to go into the next bid window. We definitely have a bidding war on our hands for the Yzerman. Nice 2-color patch. I'm not surprised.
So, Jeremy, you've done PWCC auction shows for a long time, especially the Premier. What's the longest you've seen a single card go back and forth between 2 or 3 bidders?
Oh gosh. The Premier auction that me and Adam do, that show has gone for 3.5 hours before. So yeah, take that for what it's worth, I guess. That show has gone on for a very long time. But it's also, well, no, I mean, that makes sense. And I was going to say that because it goes down into the 1 minute window, but there's big card. And I think that the bidding window structure was different. It was different. Yeah. Okay. The Yzerman has sold for $1,440. I bought it. I can't deceive you guys anymore. I bought it. I said I wasn't in on it, but I was in on it. And
so you don't have it?
I do, but I wanted to upgrade, so I'm going to sell mine now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in a way, you just kind of set a favorable comp for you to do that.
Well, maybe. I mean, the only thing is that mine's a 1 color and that was a 2 color.
Yeah.
And yeah, way more than I wanted to pay. Like, I wanted to get it for half of that, Like, literally, I wanted to get it for half that. Thanks, Professor. It's more than I want to spend, but luckily I've got a bunch of money in my PWCC account. So I can, if you guys want to see, I can show you what I picked up tonight. If you want to, if you're interested in that, I'm going to have to just reconfigure what I'm sharing here, because I'm logged into PWCC on 2 accounts. One is my restricted presentation only account, so that I can do the show, and the other one is my bidding account. Mitch says, "Wait, I could have just lied about being in on the Beliveau this whole time." I guess. Well, were you in on the Yzerman, Mitch? Were you in on the Yzerman? I can't show my cards completely on what I'm bidding on. It's just like I got to. Anyway, here's what I got. I didn't get the Denny Savard. That went for way more than I wanted to pay at $900, but I did win. Here, hold on. Let's just show what I won. So Yzerman, way more than I wanted to pay. The Beliveau, the Kiprasov, the Le Cavalier, Hasek, the Naslund, the Kovalchuk, Gaborik, Richards, the Drury, and the Heatley. The Heatley is actually an upgrade. Like the one I have is 2-color, black and red. This one has that little bit of white, so I'll just now sell mine. I think the rest of them are all non-up. Maybe the Richards is an upgrade too. Did I get the? Yeah, the Richards. I bought the Richards also 2 weeks ago. Everything else,
at $57. That's as a Wild fan, that's a pretty good price on that.
I think the upgrades, I upgraded 3 and I picked up 11 cards, and I missed out. The ones I wanted that I didn't get were here, I'll show the ones it was outbid on. Just a few. Just a few. Yeah, these 4. The Denny Savard, the Fuhrer, and the Belfour I really wanted. The Luongo I wanted too, but it's 1 color, so I'm okay not getting it. But I really wanted all 3 of these, but these 2 hurt. These 2 hurt not getting them, especially at those prices. Yeah, good night name. It was a good night, but I'm still burnt about the Fuhrer and the Belfour. Zach says, so I don't interrupt tomorrow, what good vet teams should I buy on Wednesday for the Cup? I haven't looked at the checklist close enough, Zach, to tell you. Sorry, I don't study new products that closely, but maybe check out, if there's other people you could talk to. Jeff McMahon, thank you. Texas Dave is back, joining us again. Mitch says, the only things I was in on extended bidding was the Hasek and Esposito, but lost both, and I didn't try that hard. Wanted Kovalchuk, but not at that price. And there you have it. All right. Well, guys, another PWCC Weekly with me bidding in the background and, trying to not show all my cards. Pun not intended. But buy now and upgrade later, says Currency Project. That was a while ago. Gong Show did a cup breakdown, says Shannock. So you can always listen to that one if you want. Zach Swisher. Pino lost a bunch last week to JL, was able to do the PMG Gretzky. Congrats. You got the Fuhrer and the Belfour?
And the Luongo.
Pino, please sell them to me. Please sell them to me. Talk to me, Pino. How do I get a hold of you? Pino, how do I get a hold of you? I have an extra Iserman now. Pino, reach out to me, please. Please reach out to me and work with me. I'm begging you on the Fuhrer and the Belfour. Pino Chapetta. Don't laugh at me, Pino. Don't laugh at me. I'm serious. Please talk to me. How do we work something out on the Belfour and the Fuhrer? I'll double your money on both of them. I'll double your money on both of them. That's what I'll tell you.
Oh.
Yeah, I want them that bad. I dropped the ball. Thank you. Pino says you'll reach out to me. Thank you. Mitch says to take me for everything I've got. Yeah. Mitch, we are friends off, Mitch. Friends off.
Well, you're not starting the negotiations off in a great. You're just like, you're coming up a little desperate here.
Well, when you want the cards, you want the cards,
right?
You want the cards.
Yeah.
When you want the cards, you want the cards. I can do without the Denny Savard and the Luongo. I can do without the Pino. Did you win? You won the Luongo too, Pino. You won 3 of the ones I wanted because I couldn't bid. I just missed out on my ability to bid. Otherwise, I wasn't giving up on them. So, Pino, please reach out to me somehow and let's work out a deal. All right. Thanks everybody for joining. Josh?
Yeah, it's a good show. A lot of fun. And
you want to let anybody know anything about the upcoming pod?
Yeah, so tomorrow on the 3 a.m. Coming very soon, we chatted with Patrick Smith, who's the product manager for Artifacts, about the new 2023-24 release. So had a really good conversation with him about that.
Awesome. Well, that's good. There's some, Artifacts always puts out some beautiful, beautiful cards. The Admirable Impressions. There's that one Bedard card with like the light blue background, the Team Canada autograph patch. Yeah. It's an absolute beauty. That is a nice product. So good luck to everybody who's going to be breaking that. And Josh, are we back 7 days from now? Is Christmas Eve?
I can't do it.
No show, everybody. Let's just take a quick peek though, and let's see let's have a look at the auction at least. And there's a chance if I don't have any plans on Christmas Eve myself, that maybe I will come and do the show myself, or maybe ask someone else to come join. We'll see, but let's have a look and see what we have in the auction. Jeff McMahon says, everybody have a great Christmas. Yes, of course. Have a great Christmas, everybody. 134 hockey cards ending next Sunday. Let's go by featured, which will go by year. Next Sunday is Christmas Eve. And here's what's up next week. So we probably wouldn't look at any of these three cards. These Chris Betts, just don't know these players. Oh, that Vezina is definitely worth it. I'm not gonna star these because this isn't my account to sell on. This isn't my account to broadcast on. This is my personal account, so I'm not going to use this one to bid, but we will, or to even favorite, but we will watch those two cards next week. The Joliot we will watch. Well, the Punch Broadbent, we might watch that. He's a Hall of Famer. Shorty Green. We've got Charlie Langlois, Vernon Forbes. Lots of Maple Chris Betts. We'll definitely watch the Newsy Lalonde. What a great looking card. Oh, these are awesome. These are just awesome.
Is the whole set here in the auction?
I don't know how many cards are in the set altogether. 30 was that 30 of them? It might have been. We've got a Oral Joliot 33 Canadian gum. We've got the 33 Oral Joliot Worldwide gum. Both very nice copies. King Clancy 36 O-Pee-Chee pop-up. That's worth watching. Some very nice vintage. There's a nice Rocket Richard. 57 Parkhurst. We got the Beliveau as well. Another second-year Plant. Another Mahovlich rookie low grade. Oh, look at this. A Glenn Hall. We've got another Makita PSA 8 rookie. We've got some nice cards. An Esposito PSA 8.5 rookie. A Bobby Orr PSA 5. Yeah. Louis says, I'll join. Louis, reach out to me on Instagram or send me an email. I'll consider it. I'll consider having you on the show. I got to know you. I just got to know you to do that. Pino, if you're still watching, you reach out to me, Pino. Gordie Howe, third-year Bobby Orr Topps card. Bernie Parent rookie. We got the Larry Robinson PSA 3, a low-grade Hall of Fame rookies here. 3 Gretzkys, all 2 O-Pee-Chees and a Topps. Some second-year Gretzkys, a PSA 9 with exceptional eye appeal. A BGS 10 Messier rookie, Josh. Look at that.
Yeah. Nice cards.
Yeah. I gotta think I'll Josh, I might fly without you. I might bring on a special guest without you being available to look at some of these. Let's just finish this off here. Another 85 Topps Gretzky. Yeah, we got a lot. There's nothing really there that's I think is really worthy. Louis, when I say reach out to me, I mean it. Email or on Instagram or wherever, really. If you don't, I might just find somebody else, but you did volunteer. Another Mr. Rogers, Gretzky clear-cut winner, PSA 8. Crosby, rookie, second-year auto. Gretzky 1 of 1. That's an interesting card.
Wow.
Jake
I can vouch for
Allen.
Louis. Louis is a good guy. He lives in my hometown.
Do you know him personally?
He was just at my house tonight. He's a t-shirt testing for us. We got some merch samples. So
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's a good friend.
Oh, you actually. Why did it take you so long to say something?
I was making him sweat.
An autographed Matthew Tkachuk O-Pee-Chee Platinum rookie. That's pretty cool. Some Spectrums. Nothing really there. Who's that? Pierre-Luc Dubois. Yeah, well, okay. So Louis, you're going to reach out. Hobby Champ says, I'll guest host. Hobby Champs, yeah. I mean, I don't think we've met. I'm happy to meet people. So reach out to me and we'll set up some Zoom calls. They'll be in the Sports Cards Live studio just so I can meet you guys. Hobby Champs, I'd love to meet you. We've been following each other for a long time. I like following you on Twitter, or X as we're calling it, guys. Follow Hobby Champs on Twitter /X if you aren't yet. And I think I got to talk to the wife and just kind of make sure, but I don't see why I couldn't do a show on Christmas Eve. Kids are sleeping and all that, so we'll definitely see. But so I'm gonna wait for you guys to reach out to me. Appreciate that, Josh. Thanks as always. This was fun. I gotta say, I was literally I've been crying inside about the Belfour and the Fuhrer. But the fact that I have a line on them now is I feel like revived right now. So,
I've seen you perk up a little bit. So
I've perked up, but I'm not getting my hopes up. That's happened too. So, Josh, thanks as always. And so if I won't see you next Sunday. So a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you and your family, to the young Madigan especially. So, Mitch, quiet Mitch. I know you better be full of it, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Pino, Louie, Hobby Champs, Jeff McMahon, 86 Collectibles, the Professor, Andrew Shannock, Texas Dave, Name, Zach Swisher. I'm going to call you guys all out. The Currency Project, Chad Ferris, Josh Packham made a guess on the Eisman. He guessed $1,300. Andrew, Craig's Cards in the house. Cass 99, Chuck Clement. I don't want to miss anybody, but I do enjoy the call out. CC, Diamond Dog, Texas Dave. I might be repeating a few. And I think that's about the end of the, I can see a few more still. Dan the Card Man was here. Larry's Classic. Great turnout tonight. Clay Phillips, Jack Krieger. All right, that's all I can see. Stephen Vanderhoovel. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Josh, thank you as always. Fun night. We'll see you all again in the very near future. Josh?
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays, everybody.